callers and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Good evening, everyone. Hello out there.
Welcome to the weekend. I'm Gerald.
And I'm Lori.
And we are the Healthy Credit Gals. Our goal is to educate you on credit and financial matters. Join us on this journey to increase your awareness of credit and health and how they impact your life.
If you've ever experienced financial stress, and most of us have at some point, then you know how unsettling it can be. There are many ways to actively take control of the situation, restore your credit score, and rebuild your purchasing power.
If you have a question and want to join the show, call in at 888-565-1470 and let us guide you in creating financial fitness and peace of mind. Hi, everybody. We are the Healthy Credit Gals, and we're so excited to be with you. Hopefully, you all had an amazing Thanksgiving celebration, and you're going to have a fabulous weekend. So I'm Gerald.
And I'm Lori, and we are so excited to share with you our show today. Our topic today is our young millennial entrepreneurs and just getting their perspective on how finances and credit may have influenced them or maybe not. What influenced them to be entrepreneurs and to take on this venture?
Right. So sitting next to me, which is one of my favorite people, my son, Robbie, but that's not why
Which
he's
you can
on.
tell. You can tell. There's definitely a likeness.
We have we look alike, kind
Do
of.
look alike,
So, luckily for us, he's visiting from Boston. Came down for the holiday celebration, and he has always been my entrepreneurial child. So, hi, Robbie.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Robbie. So we're excited to have you, and we also have Sean Mavey, who
Hi, everyone.
is our social media guru and also an entrepreneur, and he is local here. So we're gonna jump right in with some great topics.
You both are 24, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yay.
So yeah, we're going to get the whole perspective from the 20-something-year-old vision. So Sean, you're also in with the credit repair. So
Yes.
tell us a little about how you got involved and your journey to date.
Well, ever since I would say my first year in college, we took a little credit class. So I got familiarized with credit. I never had a credit card. Even prior to then, being exposed to credit, people always said not to get one. Always told me bad things. Then getting to college, my professor, I remember he exposed to me, it's bigger than credit cards. You know, it's getting a house, buying cars, so on and so forth. So during college, I got that experience as far as the credit knowledge, and being a part of the company, it opened even more because there's credit laws, there's other rules and regulations that are part of everything. So it's a great field to know. It's our everyday.
Now, did you have any education in high school on credit and the use of it?
The only education was a credit card.
Okay. And what age were you?
During, I was like 16, 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So Robbie,
Yes.
who does his own entrepreneurial ventures, what's been, so tell us how your entrepreneurial journey to date. Because I remember he used to stand outside selling lemonade and those big leaves, what were those?
Elephant ears.
Elephant ears.
Yeah,
And he came home with money. He always had money in his pocket.
I tried to. Yeah.
So what made you take on all of those ventures at such a young age?
So I don't know. I think when I was bored, my dad just told me, "Well, we have all these elephant ears.
Go sell them.
Go sell them." Yeah. No, I mean we had like a very resource-rich house. We had this lime tree, we had a lemon tree, orange tree, grapefruit tree, bananas, elephant ears in the yard, and yeah, there's no being bored. It was either go out and play, or you want to make money, you can do these chores, or you can dig up these elephant ears and sell them on the street. And that seemed like
That was more
it
interesting.
seemed very reasonable at the time. Yeah.
So that was more interesting to you than just playing. You always had the money set mind?
No, I mean I played too. It wasn't just business from 5 years old. But yeah, I mean, you know, if I ever needed money, I wanted to go to the movie theaters. I could ask my parents, but it seemed better to sell some bananas and then go to the movies.
Very good.
Yeah, and you and Austin did pretty good.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels good.
It does feel good.
So ask the same question that Gerald asked of Sean. How did you get exposed to finances and credit? How were you exposed to that growing up?
So not much actually growing up. I mean, let's see. I mean, I had a bank account. I remember having to save in the bank account, which wasn't fun. It didn't really make sense to me. But yeah, it was, you know, this is something you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put money away to save for the future, for college. And it just seemed like you're putting money away for no reason, because I'd rather spend it right now. But yeah, and then I got into college and I got my first credit card when I was 18. And I remember my first instinct was, I don't want to be in debt at all. I'm just going to pay it off every month and use it to earn points, because that seems like a really good idea. I can get some free money from the credit card companies. But I think that's what most people do. I think most people have credit cards for credit. So I think I'm an outlier there, but it doesn't really make sense to me to spend more than you have.
That's a great rule. That's a great rule, because you're really, if you don't have it, you shouldn't be spending it.
Right.
Living within your means is something that not everybody is brought up to understand or to know or to think about.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of kids that growing up, they're given everything that they want whenever they ask for it, so they've never had a need for understanding how credit works or how being on a budget or paying things off really works. So
Right.
it's interesting to me just to hear how your mind works differently as 24-year-olds based on whatever your experience was growing up,
Right.
how that formulated for you.
Absolutely.
And so what did you see growing up?
I didn't get exposed, I should say, to the entrepreneurial mindset until I was like 20. I went to a seminar, and after the seminar, everything kind of just clicked. There are a lot of people, I guess, weren't mentally built for it, so they expressed it as a MLM, one of those schemes. But the presenter said, well, if you're gonna allow someone to convey your mind saying it's a scheme, he broke it down as far as even the McDonald's tree. There's one person up top, so many franchises. He even explained it as far as the government. One person up top, so many franchises. So when that clicked to my head, I'm like, wow, no matter what, that person who was always on top always had that financial freedom, regardless of what spectrum they're in. So that conveyed me, and I was like, I want to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. So, Robbie, just because I know a little bit more about you, so one of the other interesting things about you, which you may not even know, you would be the first to give your shirt off your back. And I remember once that they were collecting at the school and he emptied his entire piggy bank. So I think that ability to not have the fear of letting go, but to give also is a great way of receiving.
Absolutely.
Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah. I mean, you know,
You're putting him on the spot, Bob.
But I mean, that's always like you do give, and
Yeah.
I think that's an important element of all of this is that giving back. It's not all about taking and receiving. A big part of entrepreneurship is giving more than what's expected.
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think it comes from, if you can see that there's resources that can easily be utilized to make money, then you're not really so worried about holding on to the money that you have. So if you know that if you really need to, there's an ability to create something and there's ability to make money, you're not so worried of
Right.
holding on.
So for me, that's just really interesting. All of these things. Well, how did you raise your kids? I mean, did you raise them to be givers? Did you raise them to have knowledge about finances? Or is this something that was pretty natural that
Both my ex-husband, but we're very good friends, we owned our own firm. So, I think throughout the years, we were constantly working, but I also had the ability to make my own hours. So at 3 o'clock, I got my kids to school. At 3 o'clock, I picked up the kids, and I was able to get them to all their activities, which is extremely important to me. He has a sister who we all know is equally as amazing. She never had money in her pocket. Robbie always had money in his pocket. So here, they came from the same upbringing, same background, and yet, almost two opposing forces in how they view life, and both equally brilliant and beautiful and all those amazing things. So I think they did see us constantly working and giving and doing and being there for them. So, I don't know. That's from my perspective.
So I'll ask you, Robbie, do you remember thinking of your parents as entrepreneurial, having their own business? Because I know from my experience, I never had seen that as a child or even as an adult. I never experienced that until I came upon it myself later on in life. So is that something that you think was influential for you, to drive you to think that way?
Maybe. I think when you're a child, you're not really exposed to other things besides your parents, so it
Right.
don't seem like outliers. It was just natural that parents own businesses and they work together and they have their own hours and they kind of own themselves. But I think more so than that, my dad was just, if there's a problem, there's no way to buy your way out of the solution. You're going to do it yourself, and you're going to make it yourself. We had to connect our plumbing, and everyone else in the neighborhood was going to hire a plumber to do it. And he's like, no, we're going to go outside and we're going to dig our own trench. And it was just,
And we did.
yeah. So it was just, I think it was more so you're not going to ever hire someone to do something. You're always going to do it yourself. And it was more just empowering yourself to come up with solutions.
That's a great way to learn.
Absolutely.
For myself, I feel like I really didn't get exposed to a lot of that. I grew up in Michigan, and my parents were just very hard workers. My dad worked for one of the big three auto firms, and my mom always had jobs after my sister and I were old enough to be in school. Then she was always working for somebody. So I never experienced that owning of your own company, or it never even crossed my mind. So Sean, what about you? How were you exposed to that? How did you grow up, and what made you think, okay, I'm going to just do my own thing rather than work for somebody?
Right. Well, going through college, I wanted to become a pharmacist, but I was more intrigued. I like the information and the knowledge to obtain, but I was more intrigued with the sales of pharmacy. So realizing that going to school and you still can become your own boss without even having a business degree, it started to make me think a little bit, but really emphasized it more. I didn't come from a family of business or anything, didn't really have friends. What really propelled me is just the entrepreneurs that we see today, such as the Bill Gates, the past Steve Jobs, all these other guys. They went through college and some of them dropped out to become, financially free, whatever the case may be. So that stuck in my mind and that marinated. A lot of people even the Walt Disneys going through it, they were once a server and then their lives changed around. A lot of these people I looked up to, and that's what really kept me driving.
And so now let's fast forward to currently what both of you are doing. Sean, you are taking on your own business, doing social media, and working with a lot of other entrepreneurs. What made you decide to go that route?
Well, I realized that in life it's not about what you know, it's who you know. So I realized if I can help people with their strengths in areas where they're weak at, and make that connection, it was just that feeling that I enjoyed the most. I was always helping someone. And I realized with marketing, we do it every single day, whether we think about it or not. I ask you what movie you like to do or like to watch, you just market for that company. So it was the best way for me to connect with everyone.
And everyone needs marketing, so I would imagine you're receiving a lot of rewards.
It's also feeling.
Yeah.
There's no money that could take away from that.
Yeah. So, on that note, we are going to take a break and we will continue with when we get back.
Yes, entrepreneurs as millennials.
Right?
Stay with us. Did you know most people have no idea how their credit score works and no idea what their credit score is? Most people think just paying bills on time will ensure the best score possible. The reality is, 5 factors determine your credit rating: types of credit, length of credit, amount owed, inquiries, and payment history.
Did you know an employer can use your credit scores and history to determine whether they want to hire you? Your credit scores determine the premiums you pay for insurance on your car and homeowners insurance, as well as other premiums. Your credit score also determines the interest rates for your mortgage and car loans. Even your utilities and cell phone is based on your credit score. Crazy, right? Low credit scores is like flushing money down the drain.
We can put money back in your pocket. Tune in and let's talk credit. We are the Healthy Credit Gals. Let us show you how to create financial fitness and peace of mind.
Celebrity Mortgage Corporation, where everyone is treated like a star. The process of obtaining a mortgage to purchase or refinance residential property doesn't have to be overwhelming. I'm Tanya Quarequio, the owner of Celebrity Mortgage and a licensed loan officer. Celebrity Mortgage has helped thousands of clients in Florida realize their dream of homeownership, and we can help you too. We know every family and individual is unique in their needs and requirements. As a mortgage brokerage business, we have access to hundreds of loan programs and thousands of lenders. We will help find the right program that works for you. Tanya Quarequio, NMLS 88836, Celebrity Mortgage, NMLS 206978, where everyone is treated like a star.
You've been listening to the Healthy Credit Gals inform you of how important good credit is and the stressful impact bad credit can have on your overall well-being. Visit our website at thehealthycreditgals.com and learn what options you have. Now, let's get back to the show.
Hi everyone, we're back. We're back with our millennials talking about entrepreneurship and what it means from their perspective growing up and what it means now that they are owning their selves. So before we get back into that, we're going to talk a little about mortgages.
Yes, so we've had our sponsor, Tanya Quarequio. She's been on our show twice now.
We had Tanya Q with Celebrity Mortgage.
And she has shared so much great information. I think the last time we had her on, we were talking about what makes her so different. And I really believe, honestly, the knowledge that she has across the board, not just about mortgages, but really about
Her
fitting
5-year plan
and
for
how
you.
Yeah, how she talks and listens to what your needs are, not just about your mortgage, but your growth, what you're thinking about 5 years down the road.
Right, and what works for you. Like, you know, I told her I wanted to be a gypsy maybe a little while longer, but, you know, is it wise for me to purchase? And maybe I purchase just solely as the investment piece, knowing that I can take off. So, yeah.
So we love Tanya, and we really highly recommend her. Her company is Celebrity Mortgage, and you can check her out on our commercials. So let's get back to thinking about mortgages and a 5-year plan. And what are you doing now, Robbie? And how did you get into this field? What motivated you to take on this opportunity?
Yeah, so I guess to clarify, I'm not in the mortgage business.
Right. Yes, we should have clarified that, right?
So right now I work on a startup that leverages consumer spending to reduce CO2 emissions and fight climate change. So I've been in sustainability for a long time. I started out kind of in my professional entrepreneurial venture in sales for kitchen cutlery in a company called Vector Marketing. And then after that, I worked through that all through college, and then I went into community solar startups and sustainable water startups. And I just think I'm very passionate about that problem, and I think if you can find a way to use your skills and set up businesses that solve problems in that way, very exciting and very self-motivating.
And it doesn't feel like work if you're really following a passion, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think pursuing money is important, and profit's important for sustaining a business. But I think solving problems that you care about is really what should drive you. So, yeah.
Wow,
Something
I
bigger
feel
than you.
So grateful to know that you're our future. Like, you know, I mean, putting the world in hands that look like yours, like we're in a really safe place, and that's so refreshing.
It is, because I mean, a lot of times people think, okay, what are the new generations doing?
These are our millennials. These are our worker bees, and they're out there working.
And there are so many more world problems out there now than there were that we were aware of anyway, I think, growing up. It's more of a commitment, I think, to hear what you're saying, having a passion for solving a world problem, something that's bigger than you. That's not really a mindset that I was exposed to growing up. So
Right.
I love that the millennials are really taking on the world problems and making them fit into what your lifestyle is as a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we spend so much time working. Why not do something that you feel passionate about?
Right.
And to top on that, just for like us, even hearing from what you said, I think this is like the perfect timing now to even, you know, come about these things. You know, if these problems were presented, no offense to you guys, back in your guys' time, just like even the technology or even the resources may not have been there. And just now with the millennials, with just so much resource and just the new technology, just how things are changing constantly and fast, I just feel like it's a very great time for us, even you, to what you're doing. I tapped into a little bit as far as like solar energy and that format, but even for you to have that and have, you know, us together to, you know, propel these things, I think that's very phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. And you're getting the word out there. So tell us more about the importance of getting the word out and getting it to where it needs to be and being persistent and all those good things, because social media is a huge part of entrepreneurism.
I believe it's a great thing to get the word out. Just even how quick you can get it out. You have a following, or you create a following of an audience, you can just move a whole wave. And that's what it is nowadays, is what's the new wave, what's something trending. And if you can get a huge following, you can impact a lot of people. A lot. I mean, even to start on a smaller scale, constantly I see on social media challenges. The water ice bucket challenge. Sometimes, unfortunately, when there's disaster situations, the celebrities will step up and have like a money challenge, who donates the most. So even having these platforms for everyone to occupy and be on it, it's really phenomenal. You can get any word across whenever you want.
Information travels so much faster with all of the social media, even just the internet. When the internet first came out, do you remember it would take so long? You would wait for the news
Right.
to hear about what happened in another
Right.
country, or if there's a disaster. Now it's instantaneous. As soon as something happens, the world knows about it. So it's really interesting how that has changed how we do business.
Right.
And how we take on information, or how we take on causes.
Right.
You can figure out quicker, I think, what interests you.
But I think there's two sides to that coin. I mean, the fact that there's so much information, I find I need to shut down. So how do you kind of get the information without shutting down? And I know for me, I have to remove myself from it and be in it. So it's that struggle.
Well, and then that's actually perfect. Sometimes you don't want to be too much into it because there's so much information. Who do I believe? Who do I
Right,
kind
who
of trust?
do I believe these days?
So the great beauty of it is, I believe, either answer you're looking for online, you can find it. You can find an argument on both sides.
Right.
So it's specifically, don't try to just take it. Just take the information and make your own decision. Because you honestly could find, whether a car, what's the pros of a car, what's the cons, and you could find both sides on the argument. So what you want to look for, and you make your own executive decision.
Good advice.
Very good.
So, all right, I'm going to get back to you, Robbie, because I think there's a fun story in there. So, and I know, I know where he is today as a 24-year-old, pretty much in charge of this startup company. He's capable of doing it all, but it was really Cutco. So we'll put a plug in there for Cutco. He graduated high school. He's got the $10 an hour yogurt shop.
Yeah.
And it was driving him crazy. And the next thing I know, he's dressed in a suit in an interview all day. And I think it was my memory, don't quit your day job. And he kind of said, well, I already did, but his memory was different. So Cutco really gave
absolutely.
you that platform.
Yeah, and so if you don't know, Cutco is kitchen sales. It's
Expensive knives.
expensive knives.
But very good ones.
Yeah, it's all in-home appointments, all kind of self-driven, and it really teaches you the fundamentals of sales, which is the fundamentals of entrepreneurship, because no matter what you're doing, whether you're selling a product, yourself, a service, you're always selling, and being able to communicate is super important. And being able to be self-motivated and drive your own appointments and drive your own income and drive your own business is really what I learned at Cutco. And I think I actually met Lori that way. I was doing one of an appointment.
Which I did buy my knives.
Yeah, so
And I love my knives, I will say.
yeah, and just learning to take rejection and learning to focus on your faith in the business and faith in yourself, and not focus on how many times people say no, just focusing on how many times you can be successful, I think is really important.
I think it's interesting, all of those pieces that you talked about of what you gained from working for Cutco it comes down to one thing. People really do buy you as the product. It's only gonna sell as good as you sell it.
Absolutely.
So your communication, and I just remember meeting you and I thought, this kid is just so impressive. I think of you as a kid still, because, my friend Gerald said, oh, are you interested? Just listen to what he has to say and set up an appointment. Of course I did. And honestly, I don't know that I would have bought knives at the time. Because it was never on my radar, but because I bought into you and your presentation, I wanted to get something. And I will say that I use my knives regularly, and I think of you often because I think it's important to know that you are the product that you're selling.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
not just the product that sells itself. It's really building yourself up and learning, which is what we talk a lot about with our company, is how much personal growth that you obtain.
Right.
So I think millennials really do have an advantage that they're starting out in this world of entrepreneurship that is so common now, where it wasn't common back then. For us, like growing up, somebody worked for a company, they usually worked there 20, 30, 40 years, retired, and that was what they encouraged their children to do. So I find it really interesting to hear the different perspectives,
Right.
and to know that maybe not in a way that you were trying to teach, you were still setting the example for you and your husband to have your own company, how that seeps in and how that really does affect children that are brought up in that environment.
I mean, you also saw us fail, big time.
Sure.
So, then that, I guess the part of the entrepreneurship or ism is being willing to do what someone else isn't, and be willing to take the failure and take a step from there, I think is probably the best way to.
Most people don't have success the first time.
No, and even
So-
maybe the 100th time. And
Right.
you hear some stories, but you just keep moving forward.
Abraham Lincoln just jumped in my head.
That's where you learn the most, actually,
It's
is
from
from
your failures.
Sometimes even if you got lucky enough to pass the first time, when you reach that other hill, you weren't, aware at least. The great story, or one of something that happened that I always keep in the back of my mind, was Netflix. Netflix even went to the executive meeting with Blockbuster and they didn't even give him 5 minutes. They say, don't let the door hit you on your way out. And now it's the other way around. He persistently kept going after it, and now Netflix is on top of things.
Netflix is all I really want to watch.
Well, and also just the change in technology that happened right at that time as well.
Right.
Blockbuster wasn't open to seeing the change, and I think a lot of times that happens with businesses. All these brick and mortars, a lot of them have shut down because of that, because they didn't want to grow with the changes. And I think it's an opportunity if you are willing to take a look at entrepreneurship or owning your own business, whatever it may be for you. It's really all about, if you're going to turn your head away from social media or technology, then you really are doing yourself a disservice. You really want to be able to take that platform, everything that comes new every day, and there are new things coming to us every day, and make the most of it. So you don't have to know everything about it. Reach out and find somebody that knows the ins and outs of whatever you're trying to accomplish. That's how Sean really got involved with us for doing the social media piece.
So should we talk about the credit repair?
We
credit
should.
Opportunity?
Absolutely.
Okay, so as you know, I mean, our show is the Healthy Credit Gals, and we're trying to stay and keep your credit physically fit, financially fit. I mean, being fit is the name of the game. And so there is an incredible opportunity. We're here to restore your credit.
We're here to actually not even just restore, but really I think the whole package that we talk about is your financial health, and how what we can expose you to can help elevate you just by giving you a little bit of knowledge. And I think we should probably get into it a little bit more after this break, because we have a lot to talk about with that, but we want to take a break first. So stay with us.
Thanks.
Tune in and let's talk credit on 1470 AM and 95.3 FM.
Celebrity Mortgage Corporation, where everyone is treated like a star. The process of obtaining a mortgage to purchase or refinance residential property doesn't have to be overwhelming. I'm Tanya Quarequio, the owner of Celebrity Mortgage and a licensed loan officer. Celebrity Mortgage has helped thousands of clients in Florida realize their dream of homeownership, and we can help you too. We know every family and individual is unique in their needs and requirements. As a mortgage brokerage business, we have access to hundreds of loan programs and thousands of lenders. We will help find the right program that works for you. Tanya Quarequio, NMLS 88836, Celebrity Mortgage, NMLS 206978, where everyone is treated like a star.
You've been listening to the Healthy Credit Gals inform you of how important good credit is and the stressful impact bad credit can have on your overall well-being. Visit our website at thehealthycreditgals.com and learn what options you have. Now, let's get back to the show.
Hi, everyone. We are back, and we are talking about the incredible opportunity that financial education service has provided for us and has the ability to offer you. It's an amazing platform, and it gives step-by-step details. I think many times people want to take the leap and they just don't know how or what's next. And this opportunity really does give a step-by-step guide.
Yes, I think just having a system that you can plug people into is so important. When you're talking about entrepreneurship and taking on something that maybe you don't really know how to, it's important to have a system that you can take those interests, grab those people, and put them into a system that will teach them how to be the best them. So it's really not about, like we talked about earlier, it's not really about just the product. It's not that you're just selling credit repair.
Right.
It's really learning and growing yourself in whatever business that you take on.
And offering solutions to so many people these days that need assistance, that need the education, and you're there to provide it. And it's such an amazing win-win-win when you yourself can offer those services, make money, and allow that person that you're helping the same opportunity
while providing life-changing changes. I mean, people that come on board with us that are just customers, I've had so many just grateful comments because it really does change your life. If you have a bad credit score, you're really limiting your purchasing power, and everything in our country is based on credit these days. We've talked about this several times, but having good credit just opens up so many doors. And why not pair that with, while you're fixing your credit, making an income? If that's something that interests you, you can find out more about our opportunity on our website. It's thehealthycreditgals.com, and you can go under the business opportunity and just watch a 9-minute video. That will really share with you a little bit about what we do and the opportunity, what all it presents for everybody. It's an equal opportunity for everybody, and it's something that we're happy to share as well as help have teammates grow with us.
Right, and you can, if you have an extra 10 hours a week to start, that's amazing. Hold on to your day job until you can get that off the ground, or just, I mean, it can fit your lifestyle, how you see it, or how you'd like it to fit. A few extra $100 a week or a month, it's doable, to a few thousand to
many thousand
to the glass sky. I mean, it's just unlimited. So the choice is yours, and to be in that position of control is a really nice feeling.
The other thing we should mention too, just like how we work with Tanya and Celebrity Mortgage and other mortgage companies, we're able to partner with businesses and help you close more business for your own business.
Right.
We partner with a lot of car dealerships, realtors,
mortgage brokers.
So if your business, if you're in the tax business, maybe you're looking for a solution other than just tax season to reach out and help your clients. It's a way that you can touch them at more than just one time a year. And believe me, the gratitude is amazing. From when people change their lives, it's really, they don't know how it was before. They can't even remember how they survived having such limited purchasing power, right?
And the other thing that we help with is how to pay off the same bills that you have, but in a way that pays them off quicker. So within the budget that you have, a strategic way of eliminating that debt, and that frees up your lifestyle to then continue on.
Yes. So important. There's so many assets, or aspects, I should say, to having financial health, but again, like we always talk about, it really is about creating peaceful minds. Your mind can be, your whole, not just your mind, but your whole demeanor and your whole physical being can be upset when you have financial issues in your life.
So to be physically fit is also helps when you're financially fit. It's all connected. So do you know that you're only supposed to use 30% of all the credit that you have?
I didn't know that.
Okay. Sean knew that. Yes, it's good that we can help Robbie understand that too.
Yes. So now you know.
Now I know.
So explain it a little bit in detail for our listeners. We need to clarify what that means.
Yes. So the part of the biggest dings and negative derogatories that you get on your credit, even if you pay it off promptly and every month, if you are using more than 30% of your entire credit, you are getting dinged. So if you need to use more, the goal would be then to apply for a credit card that you're not really using, but it gives you a little bit more credit power. So
let's explain that even more, I
Okay,
think.
yeah.
Like having the credit limit, say you have a credit card.
$1,000, that's an easy number.
Right. So now anytime you go over $300 in a month and that amount gets reported, now you're seen as a bigger risk.
Right. Even if you pay it off every month on time in its entirety, you are still being dinged.
Because you're utilizing more than 30%, now the lenders view you as
Higher risk.
higher risk, because the higher that you go over 30%, are you really financially capable of paying that every month? Or why are you utilizing? Now, are you making enough money to live off of just your cash, or are you really trying to live off of credit? So many people live off of credit that it is a higher risk. So that's pretty much an explanation that if you have multiple credit cards, you take those limits, you add them together, and you figure out what 30% of that is. And if you're utilizing more than that, you really want to make sure as soon as you come down below that 30%, your credit score starts going up immediately. So that's our number 2 item that creates our credit score. That's 30%. What's our number 1?
Paying late.
Yes.
Paying late.
35%.
Paying late.
35%
Right.
of our score is made from
Paying late.
or not paying late. Obviously, if you want your score to go up, you pay on time.
Pay on
and-
time and pay more than the minimum. I mean, if you can pay it all off, more power to you. But you don't want to get into that minimum either, because you'll never pay it off that way. I mean,
Right.
the interest does grow and grow and grow. So being financially smart. What did you say? If you don't have the money?
Don't spend it.
Right, living within your means.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's a pretty simple rule.
So is part of your program simply educating people on how to be
It is.
financially free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
probably the
but-
biggest thing that we do is education, because if you just go and fix things for people, what do they learn from
Right,
it?
right.
I mean, you guys know that, right? So if you teach people just those 2 things that we talked about, late payments and keeping your credit within the 30%, that's 65% of what makes up your credit score.
Right.
65%, and you control it.
Yeah.
So we're really just empowering people to gain a little bit of knowledge so that they can now manage their finances better and have a better financial health.
Right.
Bottom line.
Go. Oh, speaking of education, we have an incredible scholarship program out there right now.
Yes.
Youth Financial Literacy. Yay!
Foundation.
Foundation.
Yes. So our YFL program is responsible for our scholarship.
And this year, so it's being awarded, if you know any high school seniors or college freshmen, they are qualified. It's a very short, I believe they listen to a video.
They have to read and take a test.
And then there's
And write an essay.
there's 30 spots.
Yes.
So 30 awards. The top award, $25,000 scholarship, ranging down to quite a few in the $5,000 level. So that's a lot of money being given away. And so, yeah, I mean, pass it on if you know anybody who is a graduating senior this year or a college freshman. They are eligible.
They're eligible all across the country, and I think that just speaks to what we're trying to do with education. It's really anybody that participates is going to learn something, because they have to write an essay based on what they learn about finances with the information that they're given. And then, the top 30 are going to be awarded money for that. So not only are they getting the money, even the kids that do go into the program and apply for it are going to at least get some education out of it, which is, I think, amazing.
That's true.
Yes.
That's a great way of looking at it.
So nothing to lose and a lot to gain.
Right.
25 grand is a good amount of money.
You would have been happy with that.
Yeah. Most people will be happy with that. Yeah.
It's a great way just to help our youth, and also just provide a boost, I guess, a boost not only in education, but a boost in the financial aspect of going to college, which
Right.
is now just getting out of hand. It's so expensive.
And student loans are one of those things that put you with derogatories on the credit report, and that's a scary place to be too.
Yes.
So yeah, so if we could avoid some of that for future collegiates, we'd like to help.
So one other thing I want to give out is our phone number, because we always have people call into the show, but I want people to be able to call us directly. If you have questions about anything that we're speaking about or our scholarship program, we want you to be able to reach out to us. Our phone number is 888-315-3182. That's 888-315-3182. Whether we can answer some questions for you about our services, about finances, our scholarship program, we're happy to take your calls. So give us a call and
Yeah, we'd love
pose
to
us
hear from you.
Yeah, we'd love to pose any question that you have for us. We'll see if we can get you an answer if we don't know it.
So getting back, you remember high school? Did you have any education on credit or checking accounts or money in the bank?
I don't think so. And yeah, I think there's almost this kind of unfair expectation to know how to manage your money. And no one really, I mean, it sounds like Sean had a little bit, but I never really got any of that, even from college. And I think there's this kind of sense of shame if you are in debt or if you don't really know how to manage your finances, and people don't really want to talk about that or ask for help. And I think that's kind of really cool what you guys are doing in terms of this kind of embarrassing way to be educated and find out how to relieve yourself from debt or become financially free.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it is so important, and I think the shame part is what we're trying to break that stigma about. Is really, everybody makes mistakes, and we are not taught in our scholastic or our academic programs from grade school on up. We're really not exposed to how to budget, how to manage our finances. So
Right.
we want that conversation to be something that people feel confident in reaching out to us to have. We're able to help in so many different ways, but the shame is something that people have to get past because it's so easy to fix.
Yeah.
Right, and I think from your perspective, seeing what your parents did isn't always the wisest way to follow. So,
Sean, how can people reach out? We want to wrap things
Yeah,
up,
we're
but
wrapping.
before we wrap things up on this segment, I just want to make sure that you're able to give out your phone number because
Yes.
social media is such a way for people to reach out.
So if anyone want any consultation as far as any marketing on social media, my number is 561-752-6364. That is 561-752-6364. You guys are more than welcome to text me, call me whenever, and I mean whenever, about any questions, and I would love to get back to you guys.
Great. So we'll come back and we'll talk more with Robbie about what people can reach out to him about. I'm not sure if it's something, but we're gonna talk about that. So stay with us.
Celebrity Mortgage Corporation, where everyone is treated like a star. The process of obtaining a mortgage to purchase or refinance residential property doesn't have to be overwhelming. I'm Tanya Quarequio, the owner of Celebrity Mortgage and a licensed loan officer. Celebrity Mortgage has helped thousands of clients in Florida realize their dream of homeownership, and we can help you too. We know every family and individual is unique in their needs and requirements. As a mortgage brokerage business, we have access to hundreds of loan programs and thousands of lenders. We will help find the right program that works for you. Tanya Quarequio, NMLS 88836, Celebrity Mortgage, NMLS 206978, where everyone is treated like a star.
You've been listening to the Healthy Credit Gals inform you of how important good credit is and the stressful impact bad credit can have on your overall well-being. Visit our website at thehealthycreditgals.com and learn what options you have. Now, let's get back to the show.
And we are back. We were talking to our millennials that are also entrepreneurs these days. And I want to just throw it to Robbie. Is there something that you offer to people that they should be reaching out to you as well? Or is it something maybe just for educational purposes that they can reach out and find some more
Yeah.
information somewhere with you?
So about my current venture, we're actually pre-launch, but I think most people are concerned about the environment, and most people are concerned about what they can do to have an impact on ecology and preventing climate change. So if you're interested in how you can empower yourself and how you can leverage your consumer spending to reduce CO2 emissions, it's solipoints.com, SOLIPOINTS.com. And basically, we empower you to reduce 2 pounds of CO2 emissions on every dollar you ever spend. We're launching probably early 2018, so you can sign up to get early access to the app. If you're just curious and want to talk to me, I don't know how much of an expert I am, but I'm happy to share any knowledge that I do have. You can email me, I guess. rmadfist@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great.
Great.
Yeah, I've given up plastic. So
Good job.
I know. I'm proud of myself. I'm trying really hard to not buy food touching plastic. It's almost impossible, but at least I could give up my plastic water bottle.
Every little bit adds up. So is this directly related to what
To
Robbie's
my
doing?
kids, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the awareness that plastic wasn't meant to be our end all.
Yes.
It was if you needed it once in a while, but it's become our mainstay in every home. And
Yes.
most people have dishwashers. I mean, use it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I think that one thing that comes to mind when you're talking about plastic is we both Gerald and I have been on a trip to Bali, not together, but on separate trips. And one of the things that was devastating there is how plastic has affected that country. Just
Right.
in the past few years, like the last 5 years, it's becoming overwhelming for that island nation that is just so beautiful to
Right.
have so much plastic just everywhere, right?
Well, Nestles was given free range to drain Poland Springs, and now Poland Springs, Maine is responsible for eliminating its plastic. I mean, go figure. It makes no sense when they could turn on their faucet and drink Poland Springs water. So it's really quite a systemic issue. But anyway, that's a whole different
That's a whole other
different
show.
radio show. But we can definitely get into that.
I think it's good though, just to bring up whatever
Right.
we're exposed to, and it's not always going to be just finances. It's really about what
An
problems are
awareness,
there.
an awareness
Yes.
that there is a problem, and at least then you can make a switch. So the awareness that you don't have to live with less than good credit. We
Right.
won't go to perfect because
Right.
maybe perfect doesn't exist, but you can certainly be back in a credit score that allows you your best interest rate and the ability to buy that home and that ability to live without spending extra funds because your credit score is requiring extra payments on FPL and your phone and everything
just everything.
involved.
Yes.
And so that money is better used in your bank account and in your pocket to maybe then plan for your future.
So I'd like to pose the question to, again, Sean and Robbie. What are your thoughts on purchasing versus renting? And I'm just curious because there was such a push for owning, for us growing up.
Right.
That was like the goal was get out of college, get a job, own a home, start a
Right.
family, right? That was kind of
Is that
what
still the American dream?
what it was for us, what it was dictated to us by society. So how are you feeling about the pressures, or are there any pressures for one direction versus another?
Well, for the both, I understand both sides as far as renting and owning. I haven't owned a property, but I've been on the other spectrum of renting, my own apartment. I do feel like owning is very, it's very useful. At least your money's going towards something that builds. Especially, I was just introduced to this a couple months ago, first-time home buyer. So even being aware that that's a possibility, I don't need to have like 10% or whatever the bank requires, that I can get into a feasible house with a little income. That brought awareness to me. So I always felt like owning a property was better than renting.
And is it something that you feel is attainable these days?
Yes, especially with all the resources and what's given to us now. Like I mentioned, the First Time Home Buyer Association.
Yes.
I feel like that's really. My mom wasn't a part of that. She never even heard of it. So to be able to put 3.5% down and not have the bank require so much, I think that's really good.
Great. And we'll also have Sean's information as well as Robbie's to share with people as well. So if you don't get specific numbers for people, you can still find our number all the time on our website or on our Facebook page. You can reach out to us.
Yeah, check us out on our Facebook page at The Healthy Credit Gals. And we have our own website at thehealthycreditgals.com. So our shows are there.
Yes.
Facebook, we're connected. So yeah, we're
And our social media is
And
coming
our
along.
social media guru who's teaching us how.
And again, Robbie, give out your phone number or your email or your website that people can just find out more about how they can tap into being better
Yeah, absolutely.
at whatever we need to do to make the world a better place.
Yeah, so that's solipoints.com. It's SOLIPOINTS.com. My personal email is rmadfis@gmail.com.
Awesome. So we're happy to be able to provide all kinds of information to people. Let's go back to our opportunity. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Sure.
What attracted you? I guess we should really share our
Right.
stories.
Okay.
What attracted you to jumping into this?
As many of you know, I've been friends with Lori for a number of years, and Lori's been doing this credit, and I never, it was like, what?
Never really knew what I did, right?
We met for lunch, and I'm in the insurance world, and it's been a very kind business to me. I have an amazing clientele. And Lori joined our BNI. We'll put in a plug for BNI as our credit gal. And this year I looked at her, I said, okay, we need to talk. And she's just so excited about this opportunity. And I took a look at it and my mouth dropped like, wow, what an amazing opportunity. I mean, for very little, to own my own business, I have one business, to add another stream of income with the amount that you have to put in, and now it's mine, and I don't have to own product. I don't have to fill my garage with stuff. To have an opportunity to help people and make money with a company that is all about my self-growth, my personal growth. And we'll get more into that, I think, at a later date. We'll discuss more. But yeah, amazing opportunity. So thank you, Lori.
Yes, I think it's something that anybody that's looking for an opportunity, and you should at least take a look at this and see if it resonates with you. You can go to our website, thehealthycreditgals.com, and check out the business opportunity. It's all about our entrepreneurial
Right,
opportunity.
amazing
And
training, amazing back office, just the
Yeah.
support system is
the mindset training itself that you can use in all areas of your life, the communication, it really is just
It's
tools that you can put in your back pocket to utilize going forward in all aspects of your life. So let's wrap it up, and maybe we will don our
superwomen,
our
superheroes.
superheroes.
Be a superhero. We want to be your superhero.
So check us out next week, and we hope you've enjoyed this show. It's a new perspective with the millennials and entrepreneurs
So thanks, you
at
guys.
a different
Thank
age.
you guys.
Yeah,
It
thanks
was
for having us.
fun.
Yeah, we're so excited to share your stories as well, and just what's coming in this world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's great to
give
be
you
here.
give us hope.
Definitely we have hope, and we hope you have hope as well, and check us out next
and
week.
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Healthy Credit Gals with solutions on how to create financial fitness and peace of mind. Visit our website, thehealthycreditgals.com, or call us at 888-315-3182. See you next week. Same time, same place for more tips and info. Enjoy the weekend.